So, the car's coming along really good. I'm almost at the point where I'm going to be turning the key and making vroom vroom noises and choo choo turbo noises as well. So, I've got to think ahead of it. So, I need to get my fender and hood done. They were multicolored. I stole this hood that came on this car, which was a full carbon hood, and I stole it and put it on my race car, purple twin engine car, because it deserved it. It was a mint hood. It needs to be light, so I just stole that. So this is the car that's gonna get the white hood. So I've got a white hood over here, and that's the one that's gonna be going on to the red boy, Red Ted, over here. And also, I've got two fenders. This is imaginary there. This fender that's supposed to be here is the correct red, and it matches perfectly. But this fender is not. It's a darker red, noticeably, like very, very, very noticeably darker. And this is the darker red. There's the fender there, and there's the, so it's like dark red, light red, dark red, light red. So I hit up Dynamic, my sponsor for wrap, and I was like, hey man, can you help me out? I need a fender and hood wrap. And he's like, of course man, anything for you. So thanks again for Dynamic. They've always got me on clutch. So I'm gonna be heading there tomorrow. But first, I've got to prep the fender to bring it to him so it sticks and all that. So I'm gonna teach you and show you how I'm going to get it ready to get wrapped in something. And no, I'm not gonna tell you what I'm getting it wrapped in because it's too cool to talk about. So it's basically something that everybody, I'm gonna give you a hint. It's something that everybody does with wrap, but it's the legit way to do it. It's not like, oh, I just did it for 10 bucks, blah, blah, blah. No, it's legit. It's gonna look really professionally done, obviously, because it's done by Dynamic, and it's gonna look legit, okay? That's all I can say. But for now, I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm gonna do, because this fender has some blemishes and stuff like that. Like, that stuff I don't want to have underneath my brand new wrap. So that's gonna be fixed. And my hood, I need to paint the back of it because it's got purple and white. So I'm just gonna paint that all black and then just clean off and just sand the main surface so it's got a nice nice grab on it from the glue that's on the wrap. So I'm gonna get to it. Okay, I got my fender here on the table. So there's lots of things I need to sand smooth or fill in. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do. But the back of this hood definitely needs painted and cleaned, apparently. So yeah, I painted this back a few years ago when I painted my car white. So yeah, I'm just gonna clean it off, paint it with black spray can, shaker boy, and get that just black again. And then basically the other side's mint ready to go. So I'm just gonna start on that. To prep your parts for wrap, you have to make sure you don't have anything that you can feel. Like if there's a bump on the fender or something like this, that's a chip, and he wraps over it, you will see it. That's not his fault, that's your fault. So you gotta make sure everything's smooth and make sure everything's clean. So what I'm gonna do is sand all the things that I think can be sanded out and then prime over top. And you can prime and he can wrap over primer, but the optimal thing to have is clear. The wrap sticks the best to clear. So it depends how long and how serious you are about things. Like if it's one spot, perfect. Throw a little bit of primer on it, sand it smooth, good to go. And it has to be dry for 48 hours before he can lay wrap on it. But if it's the entire fender, say I need to fix this whole thing and that was all primer, it'd be recommended to clear the entire fender. All right, I'm just cleaning out a little bit more on this hood and then I'm gonna spray it black. Hopefully it dries quick because I am going to be, okay, long story short, I have issues with my truck. I don't know if you know I have a truck. I have a 1500 Chev, GMC, whatever. And it's having issues. So I'm gonna be delivering this with my MX-3 tomorrow. So I have a daily MX-3 and this does not fit into my MX-3. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking off the blue hood off my other MX-3 and then putting this one on. So the way I'm gonna have to get back to my shop is I'm gonna have to drive on the street with no hood on, getting back into the country where my place is. Anyways, so that's gonna be funny. I'm gonna make sure that some of that's on film. I'm sure Jardeep from Dynamic Auto Style will get a chuckle out of it. I'm sure all of his boys will. So that'll be fun. It's just an excuse to do something stupid, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna be rocking no hood on the way back. It's gonna be hilarious. I don't know if you remember it all, but I had to cut the bottom of the hood out to let the compressor housing fit. And I never primed it. So I just sanded it, all the edges so they're smooth. And now I'm gonna prime it so it does not rust in the future. I just do a little coat first so it sticks really good. Then I'll come back in about 5 minutes and then throw another coat on. Much better. Looks pretty good for rattle can. It's the bottom of a hood, who cares? Anyways, but yeah, it's gonna look not too bad. So now I'm gonna let that dry and I'm gonna move to my fender here and sand what I gotta do, and I'll figure that out as I go. I forgot to add about the bottom of this hood is I'm painting it so it matches my red car better. Like this matched my white one good, so I need to change it because it's going on the red one. He's not wrapping the back. What's the point, right? So I'm just painting this so once he wraps it, I don't have to paint it. All I do is put it on the car, close the hood, go out and do some street pulls. So back to this fender here, I went along everything and made arrows where I saw issues that I saw. If it's like a problem with the like underneath, it's not a big deal. Depends how meticulous you are, but like literally, why would you care if it's on the bottom of your fender? Like literally would have to be on a hoist to see it. But all I'm gonna do is clean the bottom of the fender there. Up here, there's nothing really wrong except there. I should mark that because that would bother me. So I'm just gonna I can probably sand this one out. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check, but right here, it looks like this fender's been repainted. So it has a couple spots that were missed or something. So I'm gonna have to sand that all the way down and then possibly bond to it. I'm not sure. I'm gonna sand it and see. I'm gonna sand all this stuff. Okay, this is an issue, which is where my bumper would start. My bumper would be down here. So yeah, this is a very visual spot. That's a problem. I think I'm gonna have to put Bondo in there. Here came completely smooth. That just needs some primer. Here came completely smooth, other than here. But once I prime it once and sand it, it should be completely smooth after that. Here's a little bit of a bump. I'm gonna have to bond that. Here came completely smooth. So yeah, you get the point. It's gotta be completely smooth. And if there's something that's literally like, you can barely feel it. I'm like talking like barely. Like I have to concentrate as hard as I can to feel this one. If it's like that, you can put one coat or two coats of primer and then sand it. And the primer will fill a little bit of a gap. Not much of a gap, but I'm talking like half of a hair of a gap. So I'm just gonna prime stuff that is ready to be primed. And then after that, I'm gonna fill spots and then I'll be able to go back and sand the prime spots that I just sprayed. Okay, I primed all the spots that need primed, and now I'm going to fill all the spots that need filled, which was there and here. So once this is dry, I'll be able to sand that. It's almost dry already. So if you do light coats with primer, it almost dries instantly. Like, see that? It's dry. Like, so that's important too. So yeah, I'm gonna fill that and then sand, then fill that. So what I did there is I mixed some Bondo, put a little bit on here, and then added a little hardener. It's got to change color fully. And then I applied it with my finger. Since this stuff is so minuscule, you can barely see it. I used my finger because you can't use one of those plastic appliers and be accurate. I'm barely gonna have to sand that and it's gonna be completely smooth. So you can disagree or agree, that's your call. That's just how I roll. Looks like that's gonna need sanding. It looks like a run in the old paint. And there was a run there too, so I'm gonna have to sand that now. Now I'm gonna flip my hood and see what kind of work this thing needs. Okay, I painted this hood like 3 or 4 years ago, 5 years ago maybe, I don't remember, and I did a very good job on it. So I don't think there's much to do other than give it a light sand, unless if I wanted to get really balls deep into it, but I don't want to. There's these 2 little marks right there. That's where my old emblem went in the Bondo cracked that I filled it with. But that I don't care about. Like, if that's all that I have to worry about, I am more than happy than just getting this thing wrapped. Not an issue. I think I'm just gonna sand this bad boy with 800 and then call her a day, because this has to go on my car today. So the wrap will hold everything together. No, I'm just kidding. No, but that's not a big issue. You're gonna see 2 little dots, but that's okay. That does not bother me whatsoever. And I hope you're watching this, Jardeep, because now I can't go back on you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. As far as I'm concerned, this hood is ready to be wrapped. By what? I am not telling you because it's too sick to talk about. Anyways, gonna move on to this Fendi boy. So I painted underneath here. Jardeep's gonna be pissed about that. That's fine. I'm used to it. Anyways, I painted under there because it needed it. This fender was actually patched. It was patched well, but I just needed to do a little bit of fixing on the bottom. I painted down here because when he wraps it, he's only gonna be probably wrapping to about here on the fender, because this is where the engine base starts, and this is where the fender starts. He's probably just gonna wrap to there. So yeah, I'm gonna take care of these Bondo spots, prime them, sand them up, and then hopefully this one's good too. I just added a little bit more Bondo here. That spot was good, and that spot is good. So was this one. So on these ones that I just sanded, I'm gonna have to put more primer on, do 2 coats of primer, and then I can sand it with 800, and then this is done, ready for wrap. But I've got to wait on that. So I'm gonna spray this with 1 coat of primer, start working on the hood, and in between working on the hood, I'm gonna make another coat. Then when I'm done putting this hood on, I can come back and then sand this and sand this. All right, I'm going to take off this hood off my daily and install my white hood. So when I go to see Jardeep tomorrow, I can give him that hood and then drive with no hood back to my shop and throw on the hood, because I do not have my truck at the moment. This is the definition of two cars into one. So this obviously was a blue car when I bought it. All the blue parts were on. So it's got a white hood now, white sunroof, and white bumper. Damn. Suicide MX-3, baby. So yeah, this thing's the Frankenstein of all my MX-3s. So I've got this one, got that one, and then I have my purple one, obviously. So yeah, I'm a happy man. I got 3. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be interesting because I'm gonna have to drive on the road with no hood on. So that'll be cool, I guess. It'll be really sketchy, but the more sketchy in my life, the better. I have a lot of fun doing stupid shit. To be 100% honest, it looks way better with the white hood than the blue one because it actually matches with the stupidness of it. This is an awkward moment right now. I'm actually kind of pissed right now because if I knew this was actually gonna look a little bit better for my daily driver / winter beater, I would have gotten this one wrapped instead. But it's kind of late now because this one's full of oil and a little bit rust there. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna continue with that idea with doing this white one. And back to this one. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did get a new lens. I got a couple spares this time, so if I run into the same issues of breaking them, I have spares. So I'm just gonna sand this guy. It's a little bit wet still, actually. Shoot. Oh no. I swapped the hood out so quick that my Bondo hasn't even been dried yet. Shoot. Shit. I waited 5 more minutes, sanded her down, and now I'm on the 400. So I'm almost there. And is it smooth? Yes, it is. So that will not be seen on after the wrap. Just gonna get a little bit more. I could feel a little bit, but okay. There we go. Sweet. So now I'm gonna cover this with primer, 2 coats, and then after all that's dry, I can do everything with 800, and this is done. So that's all I do for a first coat because like I can still see through it. I do that because it dries so quickly and I feel like it bonds better to the paint. And for the second coat, same thing. Then all I gotta do is smooth that puppy out and I should be good for Jardeep, which is dynamic auto style. I honestly think Jardeep's gonna get a real kick out of this because I'm gonna have to drive home without a hood on. Honestly, that hood is just so mint. I sanded the shit out of it and it looks like brand new. Anyways, so this is what I said to Jardeep because I told him I was gonna come on Friday. And I couldn't because I had problems with my truck. And I told him, like, I've got to think of some downtown hood shit because I blew my truck's tranny Friday. Lol. That's why I didn't make it Friday. Anyways, got to think of a way to bring the parts, and I think I know exactly how. And he's like, oh, haha, okay. So yeah, it'll be funny. Whatever. You only live once. I'm just gonna rip around on the streets with no hood. It's gonna be awkward, but it'll be funny. It'll be funny. I love doing stuff like that. Anyways, that's it for today. I'm just gonna quick sand 800 on the fender. That one's done. Then tomorrow I'm gonna hit up Jardeep, go over there, drop some stuff off, and get this puppy wrapped. Well, both of them. Like, comment, subscribe, you know what it is. See you in the next one.